Hello everybody and welcome to the first Living with a Toy Collector. My name is Anna Bruja Chaos. Before I continue, I will say please pardon the noise in the background. There is a horrible thunderstorm and there's nothing I can do about that. The main topic for today is practically doing some cleaning and maintaining of toys. As you guys know, my husband Tom Chaos is a big toy collector, and as his wife I have come to learn a few things to at least, maintain his toys and make them look shiny and pretty, because any of you wives who've had a toy collector, they stack them, put them somewhere, put them on totes, and even sometimes you get stuff from the store, eBay, and you wish it looked a little bit cleaner, so that way it'll be nicer to display if your husband, significant other, or partner decides to display their stuff. A pretty simple fix, a pretty common thing that we actually come across all the time is that we will have really dirty packaging. So here's a Generator Rex Slim Cannon Rex. It's a pretty easy piece to find these days, but usually you find a lot of dust. Sometimes people keep these outside, especially pick up stuff at the flea markets or on sale. You also will find that your packaging will be kind of ripped open. And that kind of sucks, especially if it's an item that is kind of hard to find and you just want to make it look nice in your collection. So usually the first thing I try to do, if I can, is try to clean all the dust off. Usually something that works really good is just basic cotton. Pretty much go right here and I try to wipe the dust as best as I can off the bubble. I wouldn't recommend, if later on you decide to use maybe some cleaning agents, try to keep them off the actual card area here, because sometimes it will leave streaks from when you're actually going back and forth, and that could be really bad for your collectible, especially if it's something nice that you saved for a long time. So here, right here, I kind of got most of it out. Occasionally, I would still like to give it a second pass, and for that, I go ahead and I use basic rubbing alcohol. This is your standard stuff you get at your store. I dab a little bit of it on the cell, nothing outrageous, and I'll go ahead, and it'll probably smell like a hospital there for a moment, but once it's done being clean, that thing will be shiny and it will look new, like it literally just got out of the box. Now try not to go over the stickers if you can. Alright, so once you've done that, let that air dry, and that will start looking really nice, shiny and new. You won't have any water stains, you won't have any fingerprints. Look at that, it's already pretty shiny. That's really cool. Alright, so let's let that dry for a moment. And this is what I have here. This is 91% is isopropyl alcohol, so it's practically the strongest thing. It's, you'll probably set this on fire or something, but it's the cleanest thing you can find. So God forbid you've had kids with snotty hands touching on it, or it's been sitting in a tote out of a flea market or a garage. Any of that weird crummy crust that might be on the actual plastic cell will come out. In this case, I've been very lucky. This has been kept in a really good, clean environment, but occasionally you will see that this would be totally grayed out or have some weird gunk on it, and you will be ecstatic to have that wiped off. Alright, so that seems to be dry. That's a good part about alcohol. It seems to dry fairly quickly, and if not, just simply blowing it real quick, and you'll be good to go. Now, the next thing I want to repair is this little tear down here. Alright, the best thing that I recommend, do not use kids school glue, like Elmer's type glue, like that white stuff. It takes a little longer to glued, and on top of that, when it's dry, it just looks like a bloody mess. So I usually recommend like quick drying type glue. You could buy this practically in any store. This is a color change brush, and this is one of those crazy glue type products, and I'm going to use that to seal this up down here. So I'm going to grab a little bit of it. Oh goodness, mine seems to have broken in there. That's okay, I can still use the brush. Just use a little bit of it. And if you're dealing with the rounded corner of, like, let's say this side and that side's broken, only do one side at a time. It will go a long way. And only try to put that only in the areas that you know that needed the glue or had the glue originally. Do not try to over glue your stuff, or it will literally backfire and it will just look horrible, horrible, horrible. So now that you have that done, go ahead and glue that as best as you can. Try to make sure you can line up your glue and hold that there. And just hold on to it until it's fully glued. And make sure that what you're doing now, try not to, as you can see, I'm trying the best as I can not to hold on to any area on the face that has that will kind of damage the look of your display carded figure. We have often come across people that have tried to re-glue the card and the plastic bubble to it, and they weren't very careful with the gluing, and you literally will see fingerprints right on the front of the card. And I'm like, cheese and rice, really? So one of the things you could do is just try to be careful, make sure that your fingers aren't sticky. If you can, try to hold it lightly on the edges, and I will help you glue it and not damage your product. Especially, you know, it's kind of like looking at a sit in somebody's face, you know, like right in that nose was winking at you. You want to make sure that you're not, you know, putting that in an obvious spot where it's going to look like a major eyesore. All right. So now that I held on down there for a little while, I'm still going to be very careful with it, and I'm going to stand this up. But that is, look how nice and pretty that looks now. It looks really shiny, like it literally came out of the box. When you guys have creases right here in your card, there's not a lot you can do with that with specific colors, but if you have areas where it's got like black or some more your standard colors, you might be able to use like one of the color Sharpies and be able to go over them and it will repair them. In this case, sadly, the card is going over a gradient blue area, so if I try to mark that, it will look a little weird. Same thing goes right here, which will go right through his face. So in that case, it's pretty much just let it be. Just consider it as you know, shelfware, and there's not much you could do about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this session of, you know, living with a toy collector. This is just some quick tips of how to make your collectibles look really shiny and new again, especially pick them up from a flea market. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.